Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Milan at InfinniteLife, and this is the brand new Sony PlayStation VR2 headset with integrated 4K OLED display at 120Hz refresh rate, Halo ring motion sensor design, adaptive triggers, and more, all through one USB-C cable. Now this is Sony's second foray into the VR market and a massive upgrade from the original PSVR released in 2016. We are going to be unboxing, setting up, and reviewing this unit, along with the Sense charging station. So as you can see, I went with the Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle. So pretty much you get the basic PSVR2 bundle with all the gaming goodies as well as a voucher code to redeem the VR game. Now the box art for this bundle is a lot more colorful than the standard VR bundle, and I absolutely love it. On the front we have the PlayStation logo with the addition of VR2 and the Sony logo across the top, an image of the PSVR2 and the Sense controllers in the bottom right corner, and some information in the bottom left letting you know that a PS5 is required for the PSVR2. Right in the center is a beautiful splash image of the landscape of Horizon and our main protagonist and some machines off in the distance. On the left side of the box, we have another image and the PS5 compatibility logo. The right side of the box lists all the contents that are included inside, and on the back we have a list of features of the PSVR2 and an image of you battling a Thunderjaw. So taking this out of the outer sleeve, you have a white box with the PlayStation logo on top and the 4 icons around the side. This is the same box that comes with the non-Horizon bundle. The inside is pretty simple. First, on top you have a cardboard box which holds all the accessories. This includes a manual, a USB-A to USB-C cable for pairing and charging the Sense controllers, the stereo headphones, and 3 pairs of earpieces bundled inside with it, and last, the voucher code for the Horizon Call of the Mountain. Back inside the main box, you have the 2 VR2 Sense controllers, and lastly, the VR headset itself. And here is a quick look at everything that comes inside the PSVR2 package. And just a quick note about the VR2 box. PlayStation says the box is designed to hold and store your PSVR2 headset and the Sense controllers when you are not using them, so make sure to hold on to it for safekeeping. So let's take a look at the headset first. PlayStation stuck with much of the form factor of the first PlayStation VR, but made major improvements in every aspect. Now right away, you can tell that the new PSVR2 has taken design cues from the PlayStation 5 itself, with its black and white design, minimal lines, and subtle angles. On the front of the headset, you have a very simple white outer shell, and on the sides, a grayscaled PS logo. On the front, it's pretty simple. There's a small status light at the bottom of the unit, and each of the 4 corners you have a camera used for inside-out tracking. More on that later. The headband itself uses a halo system that supports the unit when you are wearing it. On the back, there's a quick release button to extend the band when you are putting it on. You can then turn the dial to tighten the strap, and when you are ready to take it off, just push the button to extend the band out again. On the inner side of the band, there's a soft padding material to help keep the headset comfortable, and it works really well. On the top right, there's a small button which allows you to adjust the PSVR2 viewfinder closer or away from your eyes. On the top left of the unit, there's a dial which adjusts the IPD, or the interpupillary distance between the lenses, or as PlayStation calls them, the scopes, on the inside of the viewfinder. On the underside of the viewfinder, you have the power button right in the middle. To the left of it is the pass-through button for you to see the world around you. So this comes in really handy when you need to orient yourself or find your Sense controllers. One thing to note about the pass-through view, it's only in grayscale and not in color. On the right side of the power button is a built-in microphone to function similar to the built-in microphones on the DualSense controllers. Lastly, with the headset, you can plug in the stereo headphones to the back end of the Halo headband into the 3.5mm connector, and to prevent the headphones from dangling all the time, you can put the earbud tips into the side pockets in the headband. So let's take a look at what's going on inside the viewfinder. The PSVR2 sports a 4K 120Hz OLED display, and the last generation with the PSVR1 only ran at 1080p, so that's 4 times the pixel density, and that breaks down to 2000 by 2040 pixels per eye. So with this increase in pixel density, it completely eliminates the screen door effect between pixels. The upgraded OLED panel also has benefits with the contrast ratio and HDR, where the blacks are true blacks, and the contrast between the brights and the dark areas on the screen dramatically increase the presentation, realism, and sense of depth, and the field of view has been increased to 110 degrees, up from the previous 100-degree field of view in the PSVR1, and that 10-degree increase makes a big difference, as if previously you were looking through a keyhole with a 100-degree field of view versus nearly perfect full-screen immersion at 110 degrees. Now there are a lot more technical aspects to this headset and display, but for overall gaming experience, these are the few highlights that gamers will notice right away. Next, let's talk about the 2 PSVR Sense controllers, and these are a massive upgrade from the last generation Motion Move 1 controllers. Visually, it sports the same black and white color scheme as the PS5 and the VR2 headset. It has a halo tracking style which you find on many of the newer VR systems, but what's great great about these, the halo rings wrap around closer to your wrists, giving it a nice sense of balance and not making them too top heavy. This halo design also allows for hand gesture tracking due to the IR blasters inside the halo. Each Sense controller has an included wrist strap with a PS5 logo clip. The left Sense controller has a clickable joystick, the share button, a PS button, the square and triangle button, and the L2 adaptive trigger. And on the handle, you have the L1 bumper button. Now on the right Sense controller, you have the right clickable joystick, another PS button, the option button, the circle and X button. Again on the top, you have the right R2 adaptive trigger and the R1 bumper button on the grip. And speaking of the grip, they sport the same micro icon textures that you would find on the DualSense controller. Internally, the Sense controller supports the same haptic rumble feature just like the DualSense. So although the Sense controllers are motion based, there's a lot of familiarity which makes it easy to adapt to. Lastly, at the base of the controller, you have the USB-C port for pairing and charging. And when the Sense controllers are on or charging, there's a small LED light that indicates its activity. Now when it comes to charging, you have to use the included USB-C cable, but that will only allow you to charge one Sense controller at a time, and you cannot use a Sense controller while it's charging. So this is where the Sense controller charging station comes in handy, and we'll talk more about that later. Now that we have everything unboxed, it's time to connect the PSVR2 to the PS5. The great thing about this generation, all we need is one USB-C cable into the front of the PS5, unlike the PSVR1, which required multiple cables and a breakout box to integrate and to power the headset. Now that the PSVR2 is plugged into the front of the PS5, power on the PSVR2 and a setup menu will guide you through the process. Here, you will first run any available software updates. Next, you will sync the two Sense controllers to the PS5, one after another. Once all the pairing is completed, the setup will help you scan your room and set up a safe boundary. This is actually really easy and intuitive to do. The whole setup process does take about 10 minutes to complete, so it's not plug and play initially, but it is a one-time setup for each room that you map. And once completed, you are all set to go with your brand new PSVR2. So of course the first game I tried out was Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I have to say, it is an impressive and immersive VR experience. To experience these massive machines in a 3D space is quite the experience. With the updated technology and the 4K OLED display, everything looks absolutely amazing. One of the features that really helps drive the visuals is the foveated rendering via eye tracking inside of the headset. What this allows is a higher pixel density and quality at the center of your pupils and a lower resolution in the peripherals. The eye tracking also allows for some neat features, such as using your eyes to select menu options. The last little feature I wanted to mention is the integrated haptics and rumble feature, which is also integrated into the headset. This adds an additional level of immersion. Now this isn't anything groundbreaking or revolutionary, but another feature that adds to the VR experience, and this will only get better with future releases of games. Now there are over 40 games for the PSVR2 on launch day. Some of the other great titles that I'm looking forward to include Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil Village, and Star Wars Tale from the Galaxy's Edge. Lastly, let's talk about the PSVR Sense charging station. This allows you to charge both Sense controllers at the same time. Inside the box, we have the charging station, the power cable, and an external brick. And this small box, which contains the connectors, which you will plug into the USB-C port on each Sense controller. This will allow for conductive charging on the charging dock. It's really simple. Just plug in one connector to each of the Sense controllers, and when you are ready to charge, and make sure that the pins on the controller are in contact with the station. You can confirm that the Sense controllers are charging by checking the LED light on the controllers themselves, and they will be pulsing white. Alright everyone, so there you have it, the brand new PlayStation VR2. For me, this is a great VR experience. I have played VR games in the past, but this is actually the first VR headset that I have ever owned, and I'm looking forward to what's in store in the future. Hope you guys have enjoyed this unboxing and first impression review. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for future videos. Follow me over on my other social media channels like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and with that, we'll see you in the next video.